They say you never really know the people you love until they hand you something sweet that leaves you wondering if it was meant to kill you. If you've ever opened your door to a ghost wearing the face of your own child, keep listening. Because what I'm about to tell you cost me 3 years of silence, one half-empty house, and a truth I wish I could unlearn. I woke up that morning the same way I always do, before the sun, before the birds. The house creaked like it missed being full. I made my coffee black, no sugar. Sugar always felt like a lie to me, covering up bitterness that never really goes away. I sat on my porch swing, the old one Ezra built when he was 15. Back then, he still spoke to me. Back then, he still called me Mom like it meant something soft instead of something sharp. That day wasn't special. It wasn't my birthday, not really, I don't celebrate. It's just a number on a page. 58. Or maybe 59. I stopped counting when the years stopped bringing him back. I was halfway through my crossword when I heard it. One knock. No doorbell, no second knock. Just that single, careful sound, like someone didn't want to wake the whole house. Like someone didn't want to be caught. I opened the door. There was no one there. Just a plain brown box on the mat. Neat handwriting across the top. Blue ink. Ezra's ink. Ezra's neat little letters like he was still 10 years old, labeling his toy cars in alphabetical order. I didn't pick it up right away. I stood there barefoot, the wood cold under my heels. My coffee went cold too, but I didn't care. I kept staring at that box like it might open itself and whisper the truth. I carried it inside, set it on the kitchen table. I sat across from it like it was a dinner guest. I folded my hands. My wedding ring tapped against the table. I still wore it, though he'd been gone 15 years. Another man who left quiet and never looked back. Ezra hadn't called when I got sick. Not when I spent 2 nights alone in that hospital, staring at the ceiling tiles, counting the seconds. He hadn't come home when my sister died. He loved her once, when he was small. He stopped loving people around the same time he learned they could leave. Inside the box were cookies. Rows of them, each one decorated like a tiny gift. Blue flowers. Sugar stars. Golden leaves painted with a brush I knew he'd never held. Ezra didn't bake. Ezra didn't cook. Ezra never lifted a finger to make anything sweet for anyone. There was a card under the last layer of tissue. 3 words. Happy birthday, Mom. And then under that, in smaller letters, let's start over. Start over. Start what over? The silence? The years of phone calls he let ring until my voice went hoarse with I love yous that never came back? I didn't need them. I wish I could say it was instinct, that some mother's gut feeling warned me. But the truth is pettier than that. I didn't eat them because I didn't want a sweetness if it came too late. I wrapped them up again. Placed them in the fridge like they might turn into something else overnight. Maybe I'd wake up and they'd mean something good. They didn't. I thought about Ruth Langford, Ezra's mother-in-law. A sweet woman. Always sent me a card every Christmas even when Ezra didn't. Called me when she knew he wouldn't. She lived 15 minutes away. I called her up, told her I had something for her. She laughed. Said I didn't need to fuss, but I drove over anyway. I handed her the box on her porch, pretending my hands weren't shaking. She hugged me tight. Told me I looked thin. Told me to come inside. I didn't. I drove home before the sun dipped, and I sat in my kitchen staring at the empty spot where the cookies had been. I felt lighter without them, like I'd handed away something heavy I didn't want to carry. The next morning, the phone rang while my kettle screamed. It was Ezra. His name on the caller ID hit me harder than any knock ever could. 3 years, nothing. Now here he was, a ghost in my phone. Hi, Mom. His voice. Smooth. Warm. Like he'd just stepped out to buy milk. I wanted to scream. I didn't. I gripped the mug with both hands to keep from shaking. I got your package, I said. Yeah. He sounded shy. You like it? I didn't eat them, I said, too fast. I gave them to Ruth. Silence. Silence, so deep I heard my own heart pounding like a fist on a locked door. You gave them to Ruth. Yes. Another silence, not empty this time. Heavy. Wet with something I couldn't name. They weren't for her, Mom. His voice, sharp now. All the warmth gone like a match blown out. They were for you. I didn't know. Of course you didn't. His laugh was dry, scraping my ear. You never do. He hung up. I sat there, coffee cold, my name echoing in my kitchen like a curse. I don't know how long I sat. Maybe an hour. Maybe more. The second phone rang. The old landline in the hall I kept for storms and hospital calls. It was Leah, Ezra's wife. Her voice was thin, cracking. Ruth's in the hospital. She collapsed. They don't know what's wrong. My throat closed. Did she eat anything? She said, cookies. You brought them. My knees gave out. I sat on the floor, the phone pressed so hard to my ear it hurt. Do you think they? She whispered. I don't know. I lied. I didn't eat them. When we hung up, I sat in the hall staring at the wallpaper I'd meant to replace 10 years ago. The house felt too big.
Too quiet.
I wanted to run. I wanted to burn it all down. In the trash, under old coffee grounds, I found the bottle.
Small, plastic.
No label. A ghost of white powder clinging to the inside. I didn't remember seeing it before. I didn't remember buying anything like it. I opened the fridge. One cookie left. One small circle of sugar and poison, waiting for me like a question mark. I didn't sleep that night. I called Janelle, a friend who owed me a favor. Lab tech. Good with secrets. She didn't ask too many questions.
Told me to bring it by first thing.
I sat up in bed, lights off, the house breathing around me. Ezra's words looped in my head. Only you. I wondered if he'd always hated me, or if he'd just learned to. When I got to Janelle's lab, she didn't smile. She took the bottle and the cookie, her eyes wide but her mouth tight. I'll call you. I waited in my car, the radio off. I watched the sun rise and hated every ray that touched me. When my phone buzzed, I knew before she spoke. Rat poison. Enough to make someone sick. Enough to kill if you ate enough. Ruth had. I hadn't. I thanked her. I didn't mean it. I drove home on autopilot, the steering wheel cold under my palms. The police came that night. I didn't call them, Janelle did. She said she had to. I didn't blame her. They asked me questions that tasted like shame in my mouth. Did you know? Did you suspect? Why didn't you eat them? I didn't have answers. I still don't. Ruth survived.
Barely.
She'll never walk the same. Her eyes don't focus right anymore. They didn't press charges. No note. No proof except my word against his. Ezra's good at that, giving just enough to hurt you, but never enough to pin him down. He's still out there. Maybe next door to someone like you. Maybe in a quiet house, folding napkins with perfect corners, waiting for the next knock that sounds like love. Sometimes I stand in my kitchen and open the fridge like I'll find him there, hiding between the milk and the eggs. Sometimes I think about that last cookie, the one that almost ended me before I ever got a chance to say no more.